If you are running a business in the life insurance industry, maybe you sell IULs and annuities and you want a better and more predictable way of getting more and better clients, then you're going to want to pay attention. I'm about to walk you through this new AI marketing workflow that we're rolling out for all of our clients on our platform. My name is Gabriel Ryan, and I run growthmap.co. It's a growth consulting firm and growth marketing platform all in one. And what we do is essentially we partner with companies and install the infrastructures that they need to be able to scale their business. And just the other day, I was actually talking with one of our clients about all the wins we've been seeing in their business since starting with them. And it made me want to promote this AI marketing workflow because of just how efficient and effortless it is to win with it. So let's dive in, because what I want to share with you. So grab a pen and paper, something to take notes with, or if you take notes on your computer, however you're going to do it, you're going to want to take some notes on this so I can walk you through, how we are helping life insurance agents and advisors just like you scale past 50K plus months and more in IUL annuities without all the things that you hate, without chasing leads, relying on referrals, wasting time with tire kickers or bad leads. And in this video, I'm going to give you access to the strategy and acquisition system used by top producers, the same system that they use to 10x their production by getting them actually to work less. So first off, a quick warning. 95% of agents don't usually watch breakdowns like this. And that's exactly why what I am about to share is never going to work for them, because they think they're too good to learn something new. They think they've tried everything. So if you find yourself kind of in this category, you're not clearing 50K plus per month, you're not closing a couple $100,000 per month in premiums, and taking home at least that in commissions every single month, knowing dang well that there are people in the same vehicle as you, maybe with your same company or competitors, generating not just 50K a month in personal commissions, but are doing well over that, maybe over 100K or even $1 million in commissions. You've got those 7-figure producers with bonuses and overrides and those kind of things in the exact same vehicle. How could that be? And I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of business owners, a lot of folks in the financial space over the past decade and a half, and I've heard it all. You probably used some of the following excuses to rationalize it. My lead quality sucks. I just need better leads. The prospects don't have the money. I burned through my warm market already. I just need more leads. I need more appointments. I need to get better at closing. I need better sales training. Oh, I tried that before. I tried ads. I tried Facebook before. It just didn't work. Oh, I just need more referrals. I need a better way to get more referrals. I don't want to come off as being salesy. I want to deal with the word of mouth, the referrals that are kind of coming in and just grow organically that way. My competition is making more than me because they have a bigger audience. They have a bigger following. They have bigger social media. Every entrepreneur that we've helped scale past 50K a month, one case study you'll see where we did over $772,000 in a week, had the same exact excuses. So don't worry, you're not alone, and we'll be able to work past these. In fact, here's just kind of some proof. Don't just take my word for it, but the proof is in the pudding. This is a business owner who had been in business for over a decade, and we helped him bring in more than $772,000 in just less than 7 days, less than a week. It was actually 6 days that we did this promotion. He couldn't believe it. Have other owners and business owners that we've worked with in the past that have had a complete business transformation in just a matter of months, not years. Sometimes just weeks, sometimes just months. This owner saw a 47% increase in leads that gave her best month ever. And this process that I am about to share with you, it's the same system that I've used to generate over 350K in a brand new business, kind of new division of our company, cash collected, which was just one revenue stream in my own business. So we don't just use this with our clients, we use this for ourselves too. And it works really in any service-based industry, because with the right leads and the right system, you can have your best month ever, your best year ever, just like this client did, and beat his average monthly sales volume in just the first 6 days of the month. And to prove it to you, this can work in any industry for anyone. And just to prove it, this is a case study I did maybe 4, 5, 6 months ago with a dog trainer who went from $20K a month to $64,000 a month, more than tripled their business in less than 90 days. And here's the stats and dashboard from inside of our platform at Growth Map. And here's the thing. Here's one of the most common things, with all of these clients that we see across the board. Our most successful clients are embracing AI. They realize this is where the future is going. We are moving into a world where AI is moving faster and faster. If you can remember, if you were alive during the late 90s, like I was with the .com bubble, and remember seeing that happen. And when you're in the middle of it, and Amazon was competing with Barnes and Noble, and everyone's thinking like, how is Amazon going to compete with Barnes and Noble? They've been around forever. They have all the infrastructure. Pets.com raises all this money and then goes under. When you're in the middle of it, it didn't feel like it was going that fast. But looking back, the internet has moved at a rapid pace, and AI is moving even faster. What we're looking at here's an example of a conversation with a client who uses one of our AI sales assistants. All of our best clients are installing these AI employees into their business to buy back their time and get more consistent results. So where did this all come from? I want to give you a quick story kind of behind the solution, and then we're going to dive into it because I want to give you the framework, the assets, the tools, and then of course, if it makes sense, we'll share what it looks like to work with us or be able to partner. But if nothing else, you're going to walk away from this video with the blueprint, with the roadmap. And it goes back to 2018. I started in business back in 2006, but about a decade in, I was in the conference room and we were debating some things between myself, my CEO and COO, for our agency. We were kind of at a crossroads with where we wanted to go with the agency. And we were asking ourselves this one critical question, which is, what's the one thing that's going to give us the most leverage in our business? We were kind of asking ourselves, what did we want to do? What did we want our, we had a couple different offerings and options that we could take our business model. And we were really trying to figure out this question of leverage. We had a good amount of success after the grind. As you know, like when you get into business, there's a grind. You have to focus on sales. You're figuring things out. But then once you get some traction, it's very easy to hit a plateau. And we were kind of at one of these plateaus. And what happened less than 18 months later was pretty phenomenal. We had scaled past 25 million a year in revenue. And the answer that we had kind of come up with in that boardroom and executed over time was very simple. It was a bulletproof acquisition system, a customer acquisition system. And I learned all of this, after helping scale that agency, essentially from near zero to 25 million a year in sales. We hit the Inc. 5000 list 2 years in a row, which is very difficult. Easy to do the first year, because to go from a little amount of revenue to a lot, we went to 7 million that first year we hit it, but then to go from 7 to 25 to hit it a second year in a row really was a kind of a big deal. And all along, partnering and working with, my clients were Morning Brew, Motley Fool, Agora Financial, you name it, some of the biggest players in that space, in the financial and investing space. So in order for me to walk you through how we're going to scale so fast for you, what I'm going to share in this video is this. One, the importance of viewing your business as a system, and specifically viewing your business as a system by focusing on the constraints. And we'll get into what that means if you're not yet familiar with the theory of constraints. Then we're going to go over the two-step capture and convert scaling protocol. This is the same protocol that we walk every single client through in order to help them scale past 50K a month. Again, some of the other examples that you saw were much more significant than that, but let's start with that. And how you can actually implement this just over the next 4 weeks and exponentially grow your income without being needed in the day-to-day operations. Essentially want to help you buy back your time so you can kind of experience the freedom, probably the reason why you got into this business in the first place. So first, let's quickly just dive into what's broken, essentially, so we can fix it. So talk about the theory of constraints. If you have not researched this before, go over to ChatGPT, Google it in, ask it to teach you about theory of constraints. What is the theory of constraints, and how might you use it in your business? But here I'll give you the crash course, and it's simply this. The idea behind theory of constraints is that a system is only as strong as its weakest part. And if you've been in business for any length of time, hopefully you've read this book, The E-Myth Revisited. It was one of the first things that I did. My mentor, back when I started my first business, I was overwhelmed, asked him for a bunch of advice. What do I do? Do I start an LLC? How do I do my marketing? Where do I get referrals from? What do I do with my website? And he was like, slow down, Gabriel. He's like, you just need to do two things. One, you need to get really good at your craft. And two, you need to read this book. And he handed me The E-Myth, which is a book all about systems. And there's all these other books that are really great about systems that you should absolutely read. But if you think of your business as a system, what are the most important parts of your business system? There's two components, two things that you have to do to sell more, to get more clients, or earn more commissions, to have more deal flow. One, you need to capture attention. So you need some sort of system that can capture attention, and then you need to take that attention and convert it. So you need leads, and you need a way to turn those leads into clients. And so you might have, a handful of things that happen in that system in your process to take a stranger input and turn them into a client that pays you cash, right? And so the idea behind the theory of constraints is that your system, your business, is only as strong as its weakest part. So in order to fix your sales, in order to grow your sales, you need to first fix the weakest part so that you can grow it. And what we do with my company and my team and our clients is we actually help you fix that weakest part, but we know all of the parts in that system. It's well known that about 9% of website traffic and traffic on social media is ready to buy. So might be looking for life insurance at this point in time. And of that, really only shows here, 2.7%, less than 3% are actually like followers of yours or commenting or sharing. A bunch of those other folks are actually fully anonymous. So there's this very small piece of the pie out there, of the market, that actually has high intent to buy. And those are probably the folks that you're already scooping up with your current system, but you're leaving all this other money on the table. And so when we look at your business as a system, there's really just these three main constraints in any business. And this is regardless of industry, but certainly in the insurance space. One is marketing. How do we, how do we capture attention? How do we get traffic and leads? Then there's sales. Okay, how do we actually take those leads, turn them into clients? And then there's product. Okay, what's my system for retaining those clients, staying in touch with them, servicing them, providing my product and service, right? We're going to focus on the marketing and sales piece because that's what grows your business. But within this overall system, so you have this system of your business, there are these other kind of like micro systems, right? And what do you notice about the input and output of each of these systems? Well, your traffic system, you put time and money in. Maybe that goes into Facebook ads. Maybe that goes into marketing, into your website. And out comes what? Traffic. Visibility. You increase visibility. But then you need a way of turning that traffic into leads. So you have that lead gen system. And what's the input from the lead gen system? Well, it's the output from the attention system. And you can see how this waterfalls down, where those leads then jump into your fast track system. I call it the fast track system because when you have leads come in, there's going to be a certain percentage that are ready to buy right now. And there's a much larger percentage that need to simmer, that need more information, that need some help. And you want to capture those people. You want to take those people off the market. So you need a nurture system for those. So the folks that are ready, we want to fast track them. And the folks that are not ready, we want to take them off the market and keep them in our world so when they are ready, and maybe sometimes we can increase their readiness. We can get them ready faster. We can turn them into an appointment. And then those appointments eventually turn into clients and commissions. So can you see here where you might be really good at sales and you might have a freelancer or have tried someone before, or yourself had tried to like run ads on Facebook or done something else to try to generate leads. And you've been really good at this part, really good at this part. But if there's something broken in the middle, it's like, turning on the faucet or like a hose, like having, you need to water a lawn 100 yards away from the faucet. You turn the faucet on, you take the hose 100 yards out, and there's holes all the way through it. Well, how much water is going to get to the end of the hose? Not much at all. Whereas if we can shore up this system, then all of a sudden, every single dollar, every bit of energy, of time that you pour into your marketing at the top of the funnel, top of the system, you're going to get a much, much better output from, right? So important to understand the theory of constraints, because again, if there's only a certain percentage of website traffic that's already has high buyer intent, one, we need to make the most of that, and two, we need to find a way to capture all of it, the other 91% as well. And so that's where we get to the solution. So how do we solve this? Well, we solve it. It's why we literally named the company Growth Map. It's the Growth Map model. We want to come up with a roadmap to grow your business in much the same way that you might build a blueprint before building a house, or those that go and climb Everest. They've got a map. They know the routes up to the top of the mountain, and they have Sherpas that are going to guide them up the mountain so that they reach the summit and don't die and make it back safely with all the victory there. Same thing in business. We need a map, and this map breaks down your system. So what's in the Growth Map model? It's designed to do this very thing, to install a high leverage marketing and sales system that generates and closes high quality insurance clients on autopilot. So here's how it works. So just a few steps, 3 quick steps here. First, quick start lead flow. We have to capture attention. So there's no such thing as lead generation. Even though we talk about lead gen, we use that terminology because that's what the industry uses. But you don't actually go and generate leads, just in the same way that if you're a fisherman, you don't generate fish, you catch fish. And that's because we know that your perfect prospects are already out there. I know, like, obvious concept, but this is really important because it's not about going out and generating that. It's about making sure we know how to catch their attention, because they're already actively looking for that information about the things that you offer, about retirement, tax-free wealth, legacy planning. The problem is you are not showing up in front of them consistently enough or at the right time. So instead of spending thousands of dollars on ads, we actually use AI to create and distribute high impact content on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, without you needing to be on camera. If you want to be on camera, we can work with that too, but a lot don't. And we leverage, this is super important, known viral frameworks. All that means is there's a bunch of content that's already out there that's proven, and we can just use those same recipes that are already proven to capture the attention from your best prospects. And so this is an AI-powered system that positions you as the go-to expert in your market and attracts those high-quality leads for you. Then once we do that, whoops, here we go. Didn't mean to overwrite that there. Once we do that, we install Ava, your AI sales assistant, because you probably know this better than anyone. Once a lead raises their hand, once they fill out your form, they reach out to you, speed to lead is everything, right? The average agent takes way too long to get back to their leads. Even the best ones who are doing it within 30 minutes to an hour, or sometimes even less, it's not fast enough. Like, we have to be in under five minutes to be effective. Otherwise, you're going to be dealing with price shoppers. You're not going to get to them fast enough. And that's nearly impossible to do unless you're actually not being productive. Like, if you're good at what you do, you should not be ready and available 24/7, 365. And this is where AI can actually step in really well. So Ava, our AI sales assistant, she follows up instantly She doesn't just follow up. It's not like just an automated pre-canned message, but she pre-qualify your leads. She'll book them onto your calendar and nurture them with automated conversations, all without you lifting a finger. We have plenty of folks who have office managers and EAs that we've been able to eliminate the need for those. And in a lot of cases, folks have been able to promote those team members to more valuable positions that actually make their team and their company a lot more money. So with Ava, our average agents cut their response time from hours to less than 60 seconds, 24/7, 365. This alone has doubled the close rate for many of our clients. So if we did nothing else, if we just installed Ava, you would see a boost. And then step 3 is your growth map playbook. So we want to systematize the process. So, we see this all too often. Most insurance agents, they struggle because the process isn't documented. When leads come in, there's no clear playbook for handling them. You're just doing things the way that you've normally done them, and it's maybe not 100% consistent. So what we do is we actually give you a literal playbook, a handbook. It's a step-by-step document that ensures every lead gets the right follow-up at the right time, which means you can scale your business without needing to personally handle every single step. And so what does that look like kind of before and after? Let's hop back over to our map here. So we talked some about the growth map model, right? And these are the pieces that make up what we call an acquisition system. We need a way to be able to take strangers and turn them into clients in cash. And there's 5 components that you need for that growth map model. You need your attention system. That's the piece where, hey, how do we increase our visibility in the market? Then there's the how do we capture attention? That's our lead gen system. So when we have that traffic, how do we get them to actually raise their hand, give us their contact information so that we can reach out? And then from here, it splits. So when you have a new lead, again, we all know this. You have some folks who are ready or who are on the fence, who are close to being ready. So we need a system to be able to shift their beliefs. So if they're ready, we get them to buy right away. If they're on the fence, we get them to buy right away. If they're not ready, and we don't want to hard close them, but we do want to keep them on our list. We want to stay top of mind. So when they are ready, realtors are the worst at this. Most realtors are really good at what they do. Most homeowners, when they buy a home, are actually, it's proven they're happy with their agent. They're happy with their realtor. But what's interesting is when you look at the stats of how many people, when they go to buy a new home, which they do every 3 to 5 years, go back to their old realtor. Very few do. And it has nothing more to do with the fact that that old realtor is not top of mind. Somebody else was. And they weren't continuing to provide value to them in between those different transactions. So we help with that with the lead nurture system. And then finally, we need a streamlined conversion system, a sales system to convert that attention. Because going back to theory of constraints, if we have not done a good job at figuring out like where the kink in the chain is, or where the break in the chain is, it might look something like this. You put all this time and money in, you have, let's say 100 folks up at the top, you're trying to capture attention, right? But maybe there's nothing unique about the content. Maybe you're just relying on your warm market alone, friends and family, the list that you've got, warm referrals. There's no consistency in the marketing and advertising. And so what that does, a little bit kind of leaks out up at the top of the funnel. Then when it goes from traffic to lead flow, okay, well, the leads aren't quality. They're just not responding. They're not picking up. No simple, compelling reason for them to inquire. We use something called flytrap offers to do this, so to make sure that we actually give people a compelling reason to reach out to take them off the market. Or you're just kind of stuck doing cold outreach to the same old list that you've already beat up a million times. Then we get to the appointment flow. So great, we got leads, but now we need appointments, right? But if we're not getting back to those leads in 5 minutes or less, I should actually probably change this to 60 seconds or less. Because again, as soon as somebody hits submit on that form, if they don't get something right away, they're off to the next. There's no automated follow-up, no system for managing those appointments. Maybe you're just managing stuff in spreadsheets or trying to get some sort of CRM cobbled together. For the follow-up, if you don't have any engagement or activity tracking, it's proven, we know without a shadow of a doubt that prospects that show up to that initial appointment that have watched 10 to 15 minutes of video of content, or have completed some kind of getting to know you form before they show up to the appointment, way more likely to close. There's no value add for potential future clients and team members. We're relying on luck of timing. Like, hey, hopefully the timing of our appointment just happens to be at the time where they're ready to buy. And then finally, that follow-up should turn into deal flow. But if we're not using content to prime our prospects to buy, we don't have a clear process post-offer after we make the offer. And we're just kind of relying on our own productivity and our own production and not leveraging team and recruiting. This is where the theory of constraints, this is why most agents are struggling and at best stay plateaued, because you're good enough at some of these things that some of the flow is making it all the way through your system. But imagine if you were able to kind of focus and improve some of this, and all of a sudden now you've got a greater percentage. What's happening at the top, you have less leakage. I call it the leaky bucket syndrome, where kind of we talk about like in the middle of the funnel, this is leaking out. So imagine that not leaking out. You're gonna be a lot more efficient. And then you design a flywheel where these deals actually turn into new traffic, and you become a lot more efficient. So here's what it probably looks like. Tell me if this makes any sense at all in terms of from the point where you got started to where you're at today. So initially you've got a gap in, what do you need? You need leads, you need appointments, you need clients. So we need volume of traffic, we need leads, but leads are inconsistent. Maybe you tried social media, but it feels like it just doesn't get you anything. You're wasting time on social. You're relying just on word of mouth only. And then when it comes to lead quality, we wasted money on paid ads. Maybe there's a low pickup rate on the leads that we did end up getting. We end up dealing with a lot of price shoppers. And then our sales velocity, the speed at which we're bringing on new clients and deals is just too slow, because maybe we have an inefficient sales process, or we don't have any systems, or the poor systems at best. We don't have a way of measuring. We don't have clear metrics or a dashboard. As they say, what gets measured gets managed. And so what we do is we help fill that gap by tackling some of the most important elements to solve for these things, to solve for traffic volume, lead quality, and sales velocity. We do that, by the way, through strategic consulting, through a build and release implementation, meaning we'll actually do a lot of the heavy lifting for you to get you launched and live, and then even like supported beyond that with kind of a full stack service and tech. All right. So would it be okay if I shared with you what this looks like and how we might actually be able to help you? If that's the case, then I want you to, in the comments or somewhere below this video, or if we email this over to you, send us back kind of what your biggest takeaway is here from this. But here's what we've got for you. Me and my team would love to help you scale your business. And to do that, we've put together a program called the Growth Map Incubator. Like I said, it's a combination of things. It's a combination of some strategic consulting to make sure you have the right playbook and we're actually doing the right things strategically. We offer the build and release implementation, so we will actually do a lot of, not most of the heavy lifting for you, and we have the tech and the tools that you need to make this work. So what does this look like? It starts with our initial phase of onboarding. Once you make payment, and I'll get into those details here in just a second, all you got to do is sign the service agreement. We have a short intake form for you to fill out. We have weekly coaching calls and office hours to provide additional support in addition to the one-on-one calls that you get, and we're going to get a kickoff call scheduled right away, because what's super important is that we get your business set up in the system. We get all of your integrations and tech and anything that we need tied in, and we get your phone system app. Like, this is the initial phase with onboarding. Then what we have to do is we need to create your system map. So we take a look at these different components like we talked about that make up the acquisition system, and we map your attention system, your lead capture system, your lead fast track, lead nurture, and sales systems. So ultimately what we end up with is a literal map, kind of like we have here in Miro Map, but for your business. So a visual diagram of what your acquisition system needs to look like, and then an actual Google Doc playbook that walks through how do we get traffic, how do we turn the traffic into leads, how do we fast track those into appointments, what do we do if someone's not ready now, and how do we get as many of those leads to buy as possible. So we map the system first. Once we do that, our team goes into build mode, and we actually build the whole thing into our platform, which is on growthmap.co. And then once we go live and we deploy it, usually less than 30 days, 2 to 4 weeks tops. And if we can move much faster, especially depending on if you're collaborative, you're ready to go, and you complete these steps up here at the top right away, we can get launched real quick. Then it's just a matter of like dialing in the system. So over the first 30 days, we're building. Over the next 30 days, we are refining, and then we support you on your journey for growing your business. We want to take you to 50K and beyond. And we have a very simple process, again, going back to theory of constraints, where we look at these different infrastructures for, okay, how do we get new leads? How do we convert those leads into how do we qualify and book appointments from them? And then how do we turn those into clients? And we have a weekly focus to go, okay, are we on track? Are we within KPI? Are we hitting the numbers we want? Yes, great. Let's do more of it. No, okay. Let's reassess. Let's optimize, refine until we get on track. And a lot of times we find that we get on track here pretty quickly. So what do you do next? If you don't hate money, that is. I want you to click the link below and book a 30-minute walkthrough session with my team, okay? Here's what we're going to do on that call. We are going to show you exactly how to implement this system in your business, okay? As a bonus, when you book your session, you're going to receive a personalized growth map blueprint. So we're going to give you a personalized blueprint, something like this, that's tailored specifically to your business and the products that you're looking to sell, the makeup of your team, your sales process, a visual roadmap for increasing your policies every month. But here's the thing. As you can tell, there's a lot that goes into building something like this out. There's a lot that goes into generating the kind of results that we have for our clients and partners. So we can't do this for everyone. Because of that, we can only take on 5 new agents right now at the time of this recording. As soon as we fill up, I take the video down and we stay in build mode. We spend more time with existing clients than we do bringing on new clients. So because you're watching this right now, good timing. We've got space and would love to work with you. So if you want to be one of those 5, don't wait. These spots do fill up pretty quickly, and would love to talk about working with you. So just click the link below, book a call. Let's make it happen. And before we wrap, here's what I want to do. I want to take just maybe 30 seconds and spend some time thinking about kind of the future you, right? So picture this. It's 90 days from now. Your calendar is booked solid with high intent prospects, the kind of people that you like working with that are easy to sell, right? Your sales process runs smoothly without you having to chase leads manually. Your income is predictable, scalable, and growing. Instead of worrying about lead flow, you're focused on closing deals and serving clients. How nice would that be? You have the time, freedom, and income you envisioned when you started in this industry. Now I want you to rewind to today. So picture that future you. Now rewind to today. What happens if you don't make a change? Does lead flow stay sporadic at best? Deal flows, your sales process, is that inconsistent? Are you still grinding just as hard, but things don't get easier? Because I can tell you the only difference between those two futures is what you decide to do today. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to click the link below, book your walkthrough session. Let's build the business you've always wanted. Let's go ahead and get this built out for you. Let's get your acquisition system done and dialed so you have a consistent, predictable way to take those strangers, turn them into leads, qualify them, turn them into cash and clients, if I can speak. Would love to work with you. Time is limited, space is limited. So hit us up. Let's chat. We'll see you on the flip side.